I'd like to call this meeting to order. One change real quick before we get started on the agenda. Under number 4, your guest, Barbara Hutto is not here tonight, so we will scratch that. I'll introduce the guest during that period. Let's all stand and we'll do the pledge and prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justin, would you listen first?
You bet. Let's bow. Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for all the blessings that you've given us. Lord, I just ask that tonight as we conduct business, Lord, that we do it in a way that brings you glory and in the best interest of our patrons. We ask this in your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All members are present, minus Gilbert. He had another appointment tonight, couldn't make it, but we do have a quorum. Introduce our guests. Would you guys stand and introduce yourself, please?
My name is Barney McAleese. We're here because of news trial. We want to see what's going on with that.
And I'm Amanda McAleese, same situation.
I'm Wilma Winningham, their neighbor on Lewis Drive.
Heather Eckler. And I'm just here.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming. We do appreciate you being here. We will get to your topic down a little bit lower in the agenda. This time we'll read you the minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look them over from last meeting?
Make a motion we approve the minutes. Second.
Motion made and second to approve the minutes for the July council meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Fire department, Daniel.
Last month, we ran a total of 32 calls, split between 2 counties. We had 2 meetings. We hosted a few other community events. 4th of July was a big deal. We issued 6 burn permits. We do have 1 new member. Missy Watson decided to help us out. We're thankful for that. And we got a PPE and intro to firefighting class scheduled beginning Monday through Friday next week. Other than that, we're trucking along. 17 calls this month so far, so we're having a really busy month so far. Other than that, we're trucking along. We're in good shape. Any questions?
All the equipment, everything up to par?
Well, we got 1 truck we got to get worked on, but we're trying to figure that out right now.
Okay. Any prospects of new members?
No.
Any of you?
Listen.
We're having classes.
We did get our Explorer program officially set up through the Scouts of America. We have 4 currently enrolled right now.
Awesome.
And they'll all be able to attend our PPE and intro class next week.
Great.
So just waiting on the final few paperwork, but everybody's signed up, it's submitted, everything's good, classes have been taken, so hopefully that'll kick off and we'll get some youth involved in this. They're already a big help. They've been with us for 3 structure fires, helped drag hoses,
Great.
stuff like that, so it's working out.
What about the Suburban?
Suburban,
What about the Suburban?
I hope we're just gonna sell it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You come up with a price yet on it?
I have not.
Okay. Well, we'll research that and figure out a blue book on it, and we'll go ahead and get it up for sale. Get it out of our system.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Any questions for Daniel? Okay. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, court. Bo wasn't able to be here tonight. He sent an email. He's just got back from vacation and has a virus, so he didn't want to share it with us, and I told him thank you very much. So I'm going to read his report. Well, we had a very productive July 14 court date, which included a fairly rare trial involving a defendant who made things difficult for Chief Basori and the clerks generally. I want to credit Will for taking this citation and his job very seriously. This was a minor speeding infraction, but he was was well prepared and Judge Carnahan ruled correctly in the state's favor. The remainder of the docket was mostly amendable to reaching plea deals on speeding and improper passing of school bus citations. Jamie and Reggie both provided excellent support from the clerk's office. And he said if there was any questions, feel free to email him and he'd be willing to try to address those this week. So feel free to do that. Okay, police, Will.
Pretty good month. I had 37 total contacts with people or over the vehicle contacts. I had 4 motors assist, 3 agency assists, 2 paper services, 3 welfare checks, 5 extra patrols, the total of 37 contacts being in all. All equipment's doing good. Can't complain about anything. Do you have any questions for me?
Just wish they'd cool off,
Yeah. Yeah, I do wish it would cool off.
All right. Any questions for Will? Okay. Thank you. Okay, street report. Randy.
All right, we don't have a lot on the street this time. I've been driving around and noticed limbs that we're gonna have to be getting cut and trimmed for the upcoming asphalt work that they're gonna be doing. You know, they'll have to be out of the way so the equipment won't hang up on them and stuff like that. And some other spots that we've got some limbs hanging out, makes it hard to get in and out of some of the driveways. And of course, I've got a culvert that we need to replace too for that. We'll be trying to get that worked into all of our other water stuff. And hopefully on that culvert, we'll be using the new track hole. So that'll be a good experience for us putting the culvert in. And that's all I have on the street.
Okay, at this time, let's go ahead and we'll address Lewis Street issues. Would any of you guests like to comment on the Lewis Street? If you would, come to the front here, introduce yourself, and just explain what's going on.
I'm Casey Schoffer. How are you doing? I know who I am.
Glad to have you.
I'm on 22 South Broadway, which I'm on 65, and then Lewis Street's right behind me, so I got the old taxidermy building. Speed bump works great. Chief is there patrolling. I've called Faulkner County, made reports for speeders. They brought extra patrol up here. I know Mayor and Randy got the sign on that side. I don't know what the rules are. They gotta slow down. There's one particular car runs through there, a tan little 4-door car with no tags. Last I checked, I've gotta have tags and insurance and all that, and he's running up and down. There's one vehicle that's a silver extended cab Nissan Frontier. He hits it and never bats an eye. Speed limit's 20. Now, I'll admit, you come off 65, I can hit 30 real quick. I've personally done it, and then I slow down. There's one kid on there. There's, 3 houses? 3 houses? Bernie Mac and his wife are there, right beside the shop. There's 3 houses, there's 3 businesses. Now, there's a 4th business because somebody just bought Hushcraft's building down there.
Right.
Not saying you gotta be enforced tickets or whatever, it's just shy. It's very, if that kid gets hit, if I get hit, there you go. I'm putting up the wood stumps, y'all can see, right there along the side. It slows them down a little bit. I've scooted my trash can out to where it's not touching the street, but I need some help. I don't know if we can make it a one-way. I don't know if we can put barricades up. I don't know what your rules and regulations are, but I need all the help we can get. Bernie Mac and his family is right there beside me. Doc has nearly been run over several times. Okay, going to his mailboxes, which are on the opposite side. Jared Harper is still there, which is Rodney and Donna's son. He's still in the warehouse. So, and they don't see him, just people are not looking. So that's, if we can have any help, that'd be much appreciated. I don't know what y'all can do, so.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Would you guys like to make any further comment?
we're definitely in agreement with him. Chief came and talked to me one morning. We were headed to Greenbrier. We've been there 10 years now, and we have loved living in Damascus. Loved it. Great community. I feel like when we first moved in, it was definitely an issue, but the last few years have gotten drastically worse. He had told me that a speed limit of 62 had been registered on the speedometer. That's pretty common, I feel like, when we're seeing people just speed past. My husband was working in the yard yesterday. I don't know if it's the same call that you're talking about, but it's just constant, just speeding back and forth. I have a special needs son, and so he wanders a lot, but he's older, and we're trying to teach, danger just, around him. So we've had to take measures to keep him basically inside. So it's just been an ongoing issue. I don't know what our options are. I think you had mentioned another speed bump, closing one way, whatever we can get help with would be appreciated at this point.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your comments. We appreciate that.
And Miss Wilma had mentioned that she didn't want to come up, but
Okay.
she even has issues just checking her mail. She's got to wait like 3 or 4 days for family to come help. I mean, she's right on that corner. So people speeding, coming directly off of that has been an issue. I could say the same thing. We've been cursed at, yelled at, just backing our trailer in. So definitely having issues with people getting frustrated with us just doing basic things around our house. So that's where we stand.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate your comments, and we are taking all of those under consideration. We have looked at several options. Most of those have already been stated. Putting in a second speed bump, I think that might help a little, but it won't cure the problem. Because they'll accelerate in between them.
Well, also, and I hate to be back here again,
That's
but
fine.
we literally had people drive through our second lot that we own just to avoid the speed bump that's in now.
Right.
So it's been, I don't know what they would do. I think she said her rock wall has been hit. So property damage with people speeding through. And just minor, I say minor, but those are major issues that we're having.
I know their grass is growing back on the road since we put the stumps up right there, and you can see a clear line. I mean, you want to take it on 2 wheels, that's fine, but not on people's property.
Right.
So.
There's lots of issues there. And you guys stated most of them. The biggest one that I see is the safety issue. And none of us want to live in a place where it's unsafe. And we've all seen vehicles come off 285 and be airborne almost, taking that cutoff road. It's ridiculous. Wheels in the county have patrolled and wrote tickets, and it doesn't seem to help a whole lot. How many vehicles were on that counter, that report we got?
I don't even want to say off the top of my head, but several thousand.
Yeah.
I think
It was crazy the amount of vehicles.
27,000 a
Something like
month.
that.
Yeah.
25,843 went down.
And they're not
Maximum
saying
speed of 55.
And that just blows my mind even.
Yeah, that's all off
comprehend
of the speed meter that we got from Clinton.
Right.
So.
The options, I'll go back to those. The options are put in speed bump, and like I said, I don't think that will cure the problem. It may potentially help a little bit, but it won't cure the problem. Making it a one-way is a possibility off of 285 and blocking it off at 65, or vice versa. One of the two. That'll make it a little bit inconvenient for you that live on Lewis Drive. We have talked to ADOT, and we can close it at 65. We'll have to tear the road out. We'll have to put up a new curb and put up signage, the closed road. That that's an option. Coming up with the best option that will work and benefit all of us is the issue. I know Justin drives the bus that goes down there and picks up your child. That's an issue. Go ahead.
You're more than welcome to pull through my parking lot all the way through on that gravel, anytime, anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Do you think it's wide enough to get through with
With
the
that
bus?
flat nose bus, I mean, they're gonna talk to Chief about it, it's maybe a little rough off 65,
Mhm.
but either way, I think you'll be just fine, and you're more than welcome to try it. It's solid gravel, I mean, we put a lot of gravel in there, and I usually put it either right beside the building or in the back. So if it happens to either be barricaded, maybe one side or the other on both ends are shut down, you're more than welcome to pull through there. And we also kind of have a problem off the top with Doc. We got people, and I've got them on camera on video, they're pulling off 65, pulling right through, okay? And they're speeding through just to get back on Lewis and take a left and get back and go southbound, and you just come southbound
Yeah.
on 65.
Yeah.
I don't
It's like a
understand.
big circle.
Yeah.
I mean, it just.
So we've talked to Doc, and we're gonna put a gate up there off the road. He has a key, Randy can have a key, Chief can, y'all can all have a key, or I can hide a key, I don't care. Just, it'll be closed I can open it up in the morning, me or Doc, and close it up in the afternoon just to cut traffic off through there. Because if I walk out my shop door, can't tell you how many times I've been chopping wood, and they come right through there on 2 wheels. Within 10 feet of me, so.
I did have a question. We had discussed, because we had talked to the chief about closing it, and I don't want to be an inconvenience with us closing it to trash pickup, things like that. So if we do have it closed, what are our options for making that easy for them to continue? Like I'll literally pull my trash up to the curb if I need to. But what are the options as far as that goes, or do y'all have a solution?
I think the trash service could turn around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right there, too.
If they want to kind of make a circle, or vice versa, they can go right, there's plenty of gravel, they're not gonna hurt that yard at all. I'll move stumps, on the front, I do that on the grass right there, it's an eyesore, but they come and turn around right there in the grass. So if they want to come and turn around there, they can, or go through that. Absolutely.
I did talk to the new owner of the business there that just bought the Hutchcraft place there. He's gonna be putting in a thrift store there. He said that he would agree to whatever all the property owners along that street wanted to do. He doesn't have any, and I gave him all the options. So he said whatever you guys decide you would direction you'd like to go, he would back it up 100%. He did say that he's going to be building a parking lot on the 285 side of the building. So that might be a possibility to have a place for a school bus stop or whatever too, if that might work. I think there's a lot of moving parts to this that we really need to look at seriously and figure out exactly what we're gonna do, but I don't see any other options than the ones we've stated. I guess from my perspective, we need to look at each one and what it's going to accomplish. If it's not going to accomplish our goals, then we need to go to the next level.
Just my opinion. I think the only thing that's going to solve the problem is closing it. And probably on the 65 side would be the best place to do that, and kind of make that a parking lot on that end. So,
You think if we close it, they're just gonna cut through your parking lot?
We'll have the gate up at the front. So the gate, I'll give one call on all that and dig the hole, whatever, and, make that right there. They can't, once I get that gate up, they can't go around it. And if my wood pile needs to move where I've got it stacked now, I can move it and have that whole area completely open in the back, so you don't have to worry about turning around or cutting or anything. Everybody can fit in there. So we can make it accessible to where, we gotta slow them down somehow.
Well, and I don't want the businesses to suffer because I support small business. I think that him opening the thrift store is a great idea. That building needs to be fixed up. I had actually talked to him a few days ago and he said he has all intentions of making it really nice and it's gonna be a nice place for people to shop. I support that. But again, I feel like it's drastically gotten worse the last few years. Doc said several times, they've had animals out there trying to load them and they've had people just flying past. I mean, it's not safe at this point because I think signs, speed bumps, people are avoiding all of that and not paying attention to what they're doing. And they're using driveways for turnarounds. She was blocked in. Now I say support small business. She was blocked in when the thrift store guy was there, selling a few things out of there, but she couldn't get out of her driveway for hours because they just used the whole road as parking basically. And I know he has intentions to fix that, so I support that. But whatever we can do, I do think closing is the best option at this point.
One thing that I have, when you're talking about speed bumps and all this, the only thing that what came up when we originally got the speed bump the first time was people from all the other roads going, why don't I have a speed bump? And so everybody's wanting one. North Road, Fire Station Road, they were like, you're putting one here, and I understand your reasons, of course, and I'm all for safety, but then everybody else is wanting one too. So, I don't know, do we just, that's what I'm saying, that's one thing that comes up when we're talking about the speed bump that I got phone calls from last time. They were like, well, how come they got a speed bump? Well, I want one on my road. We've got kids that play outside. We've got animals, so, those are things we have to consider as well, I would think. And I don't know, if closing it might be the best, but,
I think with the number of vehicles that are traveling that road, we've got to do something. And you're gonna have to put up 20 speed bumps down that street to make it effective.
Literally 3 people need to be on that road. They've got access from 65. There are 3 houses on that road. It is not a through street. Like North or Oak Tree, yes, I would love some speed bumps, because there's some kids that gonna get ran over. That little rent house, we almost hit a kid one day. We were paying attention thankfully, but he wasn't when his sister pushed him and his scooter in front of us and we stopped, or he would have been smashed. If it had been a teenager, a kid would have been because they fly.
right, so
There are hundreds of people that live out past us. There's a lot of reason for people to be on that road. There's no way to make that a closed road.
I know.
We just have to figure out, Will's got to route more tickets for something. But like that one, there's really no reason. I live in Damascus. There's literally no reason for me to go to that road. Sometimes I cut back there to go take my dog to the vet, but I don't really need to. There's other access points. So, if you closed it and people complained, really, do they have a reason to even be on that street? Because I can't really think of it.
There's also a no for truck sign. We see trucks out there all day,
Dump
dump trucks,
Yes.
flatbeds.
18-wheelers, short beds. I'm all for, you wanna charge me $10-15 extra a month on both my water bills on 2 places that I have to go for a fund to go for these speed bumps? I ain't kidding. I'll pay it. If you say shop, we're gonna charge you $25 per household for the fund of these speed bumps. I will get in my pocket and I will donate to this community. I'm not messed up. I'll sell knives. We'll do raffles, whatever y'all wanna do. So if they're mad about Lewis Street, they can come to the meetings too.
Well, they're not
Right,
mad.
they're concerned, but they can come to the meetings too.
Right.
And we can get something done, because I know there's enough people here that we can do it. I understand it costs money. There's a whole lot of safety here. And they ought not be speeding. So if we need to pass the hat around or something, well, I'm willing to do it, and I'm sure I can get a few others. I don't care if it's $25. Surely we can do it. You need help putting them in? We'll donate some time, something. I don't know.
I think if I can bring that bus out there and just see how it works, to me, that was the only thing I was like, well, if we shut it down, how am I gonna pick that kid up? Because here's the thing, could he walk to the end of the road if it was safe? If it's safe, yes, but if people are driving 60 mile an hour, I don't want him walking anywhere. But also when it's 20 degrees outside and wet and rain, I don't want him walking either. But my thing is if I can get through there with the bus and I can bring it over any point, I say close it off from Highway 65 and you do your gate, and I figure that'll fix the problem.
I think that would help everybody out there, with Doc there, you can, he's got that where he can unload and load and you know, you talked about doing events.
Right.
And I think that would help the businesses out there too, so.
And I know we even talked, you know, you could block off 65 right there, or possibly move it up to right about where my wood pile is, and Rodney still has room to get into the warehouse, but they still have a loop right there. You know, they can get in the dock, and, you know, we make that driveway shareable with our property splits there. You know, some people don't want to pull back out on Lewis Street, they'd rather go to 65 or vice versa, so.
Well, and just make sure the dog has room for like horse trailers.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't want that to be an inconvenience for them, because like I said, they've gotta run their businesses, they've gotta be able to get people in and out, and that's fine, but whatever, you know, for it not to be an inconvenience for even the city workers and stuff, we'll do, I mean.
If you block it off about the wood pile to where it's around, they can pull through right there and all the way around dock, a complete circle, and it don't block the bus off as well, kind of like where we were standing when we talked that one day, I think that would be ideal. Horse trailers could get in and everything. They can still pull in through my park, they know that they can pull in through my parking lot, and Doc can take care of them and everything's fine.
So is the street, I mean, is that us or is that?
That would be us,
Okay, that's our street,
yes.
so we have to do the curb and redo all that?
And I think the only implication there is we probably wouldn't be able to get grant funding to redo it in the future, with it not being a through street. But if you're
Asphalting, you mean, talking about the asphalt? Well, this last time, they talked like that there's not as many specifications as there was.
and I think taking 27,000 cars off that street a month is gonna make it last a whole lot. Too, so, yeah.
I tell you what let's do, and I'm not trying to kick the can down the road by any means, but I think what we need to do is, like Justin said, he needs to figure out what will work for the bus. We need to have our street department look at it with you guys. Let's look and see what's going to be the most feasible, and I'll be willing to be in part of that too. What's going to be the best scenario for everybody involved there, and let's make a concentrated effort to get this taken care of not down the road, but pretty quickly.
Might recommend that
I'll meet you
we
after the meeting if you're gonna be over there.
Yeah.
put up
I'm
some
going right back there.
I was gonna say I'll drive over there.
temporary barricades and
Yes.
go ahead and get it. We can figure out what's gonna work with temporary barricades, and if it
Just
works,
slow them down just a little bit, and then.
if it works, we'll shut them.
Yes.
Well, thank you. You gotta be careful though with the temporary barricades, because without the signage,
People are gonna fly off that Highway
it's
65.
gonna cause some issues.
Not realizing.
Just with
They shouldn't be
temporary-
driving that fast.
Well, I agree, they
What kind of
should.
signage do we have to have?
Do what now?
What kind of signage do we have to have with the temporary barricades?
Signage wouldn't be a dead street, yeah.
I'd have to research that to get the correct legal
Street
wordage on that.
closed,
Street
we would-
We'll, like I said, let's look at everything. We'll look at the legal part of it, on what we can do, what we can't do. We know, we've already talked to ADOT, so we know what we can do at 65. As far as signage between Randy and Will, we can get that figured out, the legalities of it all. And we will make this a concentrated effort to get something done. It's a major problem for everybody involved. And I'm sorry you guys are having to go through this. If people would just use their brains, we wouldn't have this problem. but they don't. So, we're gonna have to do something. And we will meet with you, we'll make a concentrated effort to get something accomplished. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I pulled up the Google map for Lewis there at 65, and right here, like where this, just off where the darker pavement is at, that's what the guy that I talked with at Audit talked about. That's where we'll have to dig across.
Yep.
We'll have to put the curb on this side, just like it was continuous here.
Are they willing to put the curb in, or they want us to do it?
That, we have to.
we have to do it.
We have to put the curb in.
Is there an estimated cost for what that would?
We don't have that put together yet, but
But that's where the closure will be at, though.
But would it have to be there? Did you ask if it could go
It
back?
has to
further?
be there, yes.
if we close it off, we have to put it there.
We have to put it there, yeah. We can't put it back in here somewhere.
So we
It
can't
has to be
put
right
like
here.
concrete barricades back there?
We do, after we dig this up, put a ditch line through there, put the curb in there, we can do whatever we want to with this.
Okay.
It's ours.
It'll be ours then,
It's ours.
so.
But we can't do the concrete barricades towards the back and leave that front alone right there. That way it's around. Can't do that.
No, because we would be closing off egress from 65.
Yeah.
So, we gotta work with state on this too, so.
Yeah.
To meet the requirement. But let us work on this, and we will keep you guys in touch. If we've got questions from you guys on how we proceed, we'll be more than happy to meet with you again. We'll come down there and meet with you. We might have a powwow in the middle of the street, but, you know, we need to get this problem solved.
Do you have would you mind pulling up the GIS map and showing the parcel there? How much of that does RDOT own? Arkansas GIS.
I bet RDOT's got at least probably 60 or 70 foot setback from center line.
They own that whole piece right there,
Yeah, they own quite a bit.
which, yes.
That should be
Yeah, they actually own a pretty good section of that intersection.
Map viewer?
Our water line is back up that street. Well, where the curb ends up stopping, back, the curves
Yeah,
around.
that's what he was talking about. So
Yeah,
we'll have to-
that's where it
He was
goes.
telling me there was a break in the curb.
Because if we
That's
can
where we have to put it
turn
at.
that into one big, basically a parking lot, or, I mean, cul-de-sac.
Something. Now, I've got a question too, since we're kind of dealing with RDOT, and I'll make this quick. I've talked to the mayor and Randy. The drainage coming off docks on the front of me, docks right on 65.
Hey,
I've got a
guys.
little,
Wait a second. Could we just have one person talking at a time, please? Okay, go ahead.
we've got the drainage water coming off dock onto me, and then puddles up, and then it meets the driveway and just sits there. And that culvert's right over there, so does anybody have a number that I can call to get direct contact to ask permission before I start? I need a culvert right through my driveway, perfect. And then that way we can dig over there without hitting that water main and everything else, because I know it's right there. That's the only other
If
issue.
you'll click on that parcel polygon over there on the right side.
Did you have another comment, Matt? Which one?
Up just a tad, yep, right there.
Okay. No, you're good.
And she was talking about ATVs, which is a whole nother thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, snappy.
If you-
They're
we can
driving
click
fast
on
down the roads too, on four-wheelers.
the
But now summer-
box to the left there.
It's better.
And down just a hair. Yeah, right there. Is that, okay.
That's Fleming
That's Fleming.
and Maxie.
Maxie, so that's
Maxie's.
the corner.
Yeah.
So they only own the easement there.
Yeah, there's where that curb, our water line, to be out of the temporary
Yeah,
construction easement stuff, we had to be back. Essentially, well, it's kind of hard to tell with this, but you know, as the curb come in off this side and went down the street and it come off this side a little ways, our water line's behind that curb. we come across in front of the docks, and then across his parking area, and then across that, and then come down the outside.
Okay, we'll do some research and we will get with you guys and we will get this figured out.
Right here.
And we'll stay on top of it until we get it
Back
done.
here.
If that's the end of the curve, that may be where he was talking
That's
about.
probably-
That's the end of their,
And he
the
said,
end of their
"Yeah, let's go to the end of
access.
the
So
curve."
that's where we come around the front and start across right in there.
That's where
2-inch valve goes that way, and then our other comes
We have
around
to
back
block
here.
it off right there at
Yeah.
that curve. That's where we got
At
it.
that curve.
That's where they told us we had to do that.
At that part.
Where that break in that curve is
Yeah, that's
there.
what he said, to break in the curve and then you'll have to dig a ditch across, get a poor curve.
Like I said, we'll do an investigation on all this, compile all of our information, and we'll come up with a solution. Okay? And we'll keep you guys involved, keep you guys informed of where we're at on it, and we're gonna move on it as fast as we can. Now, this is gonna be a priority for us to get accomplished. So, that's okay with you guys, and we're gonna move on. Okay? All right? Okay, water, Randy.
Well, with all this dry weather, our sales are up. We've, this last month, we billed for 5.1 million gallons. We purchased 6. It gave us a loss between 15-16%, which is pretty good. And in your packet, you had a copy of the water audit for last year, and the auditor said everything looked good. So you can look over it. If you have any questions, just holler at us. You have your work order. Go ahead. Oh, we gotta have, yeah, y'all have to make a motion to accept the
Work on it.
The water audit, we need a motion and second to
I'll make a
approve.
motion that we accept the water audit for 2024.
I'll second that.
Motion made and second to approve the water audit for 2024. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
Okay. The next thing on there is our work order summary. We had 209 work orders in last month. And that summary is also in your packet. Of course, we already talked about the usage and water loss. Everything seems to be going pretty good. We have had trouble with our mixer and our water tank. It was shutting down when it wasn't supposed to. They came and they pulled it and took it back to the factory to look at it. And probably gonna end up with a new one. It's under warranty. And that should, hopefully get everything back to working on that. And last week, we also went through, me and Joe and I both worked on filling out some paperwork. It was a needs survey from Arkansas Natural Resources. The governor is wanting the Arkansas water plan to be renewed. The last time they looked at it was in 2014, and the time before was 1990. So we sent in anything that we were gonna need to upgrade our system and stuff, and what they do, they put this in this plan, and then they look at it for what they're gonna have to figure on, they're gonna have to come up with to help water systems and sewer systems to help the state as far as tourism and everything else as growth. And we've had a couple of leaks we fixed, and we got another one to fix tomorrow. We had several meters we put in, so we're staying busy.
Any questions for Randy? Okay. Joe, would you like to give a little report on the diamond maps and what you've been accomplishing on there?
Yes, so Diamond Maps, we've went ahead and tried to enter as much information as possible on a bunch of things. We've also started looking at the work order system that's integrated in that, helping to hopefully streamline our work order system and the communication factor. With communication on that, currently it's not set up to communicate back and forth between, say, the office and the field guys. They are working on that, and it should be done hopefully within the next month. So once they get that done, we're going to try to meet pretty soon, I think, and go over that. That way we can get some training on it and hopefully make it a lot easier and a lot less paper being used. As far as the hydraulic study scenarios, I've been through that multiple times since last month. Talked with the engineer today and have everything fixed up, 6 different scenarios with different population bases. So that's ready to be presented to the water board whenever you guys deem necessary.
Okay. Any questions for Joe?
When is our next water board meeting?
September.
Next month, okay.
We'll discuss all of this in detail at our water board meeting, so. Okay. All right, Mayor's report, new video equipment. Brian, Justin, you guys wanna just give a short report on that?
Well,
It's working.
Seems to be working. So, I think, we allocated about $4,000 for it, and we got it on a Prime Day special, so I think we spent about $2,000.
Awesome.
So,
And I think it's gonna be used, matter of fact, my daughter said that her teacher planned on showing maybe some of our meetings to her class, because she's teaching about city government stuff,
Great.
so
Great.
there's gonna be a good kickback on that.
Well, good deal. Appreciate you guys, working on this and getting it finally to where we can actually use it. So,
Yes, sir.
I think it'll be a great asset for our town in the future. So. All right, Act 929, gov.web address and email address. Our address will be town of Damascus, ar.gov. And Pam, that's all a done deal, correct?
Not totally done deal, but it's in the works.
Okay.
So we're filing, applying, and yeah.
When you work with the government.
email
everything
addresses are
takes time.
changing and
The
everything.
email addresses will change as well, yes.
Then everybody will, town council members, employees will all be communicating on that. Okay? All right, fund grant, I'm gonna turn that over to Pam.
We've got it all filed and filled out again, just like last year. We scored, there's like 40 total points and we scored 38. They gave 1 point this time for people who had never applied for one before. So don't know how many they're gonna wind up funding, but we're standing a high chance again. But with everybody, the new people getting that extra point, then yeah, we may not get it again this year, so. But we'll keep applying every time, so.
That's all we can do.
That's all I do. That's all I
Yep.
do. Yeah.
All right, any questions on that? Okay, our Sesquicentennial 250-year celebration, 4th of July. We need to set a budget for that. We talked about that at last meeting. We need a committee chair. I think we had a volunteer. Is that correct?
As long as we get planning quick.
Well, that'll be up to you if you're the chair. So, I guess we need a motion to approve her as our chair?
We need her to come up and volunteer.
Yeah, come up and volunteer.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to stand up and be on camera.
What do I have to say? I'm Heather Edwards. I'll volunteer to be the committee chair.
That's it.
That's it.
Works.
That's all.
I make a
a
motion, we accept it.
I'll second it.
Motion made and second to approve Heather Edwards as being our committee chair for our 250 I can't even say the word, Sesquicentennial celebration. Yeah, that one. For our 4th of July. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate that. Now it's up to you to get some volunteers to work with you.
I may already have one.
Great. Oh, okay, we need to set a budget. How much did we set this last year, Daniel?
$5,000.
5,000.
How much did you get donated?
I don't have that figure.
Ballpark.
Ballpark, probably close to that one, 4,000-ish something, 3,000 something dollars.
Okay. We talked about this last meeting. We either go big or go home.
Yeah.
So what does everybody want to do?
Want to go big. How much do we need?
And what all is it for?
Fireworks, food,
Celebration.
band.
Year, but
At least double.
50-year town.
Yeah.
Celebration.
I think the thing of it is, if we're gonna go big, we need, I talked to Daniel about this already this last year, we need to have a big finale fireworks item, and they're very expensive. I mean, maybe we need to table the amount until we can research what some of those would cost, because that needs to be in our budget.
Yeah, I think we,
I think
probably tabling that amount and getting some quotes from some pyrotechnics companies.
I'm afraid pyrotechnic, a professional shoot be out of the question.
Yeah,
One, due to money.
Yeah.
Two, due to timing.
Yeah.
250th anniversary. I mean, if you didn't book 2 years ago, you're probably not going to be a pyrotechnic guy.
You're looking at 15, 20,000 minimum.
Yeah, on the low end, they start at
For a
about
low end.
$1,000 a minute.
Yeah. So, will you check with Clint, Heather, and see what a big finale maybe like a big finale flag or something like that would cost? And that would help us with maybe trying to determine a budget, maybe try to get some figures put together on some of the events and stuff that you're wanting to do. I know Daniel can help you on food and stuff that they've done in the past, as far as cost-wise. If you'll get that information put and bring it back to us in September, then we can set a budget. Okay, everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Christmas Parade 2025. We need a committee chair. We have volunteer by the Damascus Methodist Church to conduct the chili cook-off and host it this year. So be thinking about that. We don't have to make that decision tonight, but we need to make it pretty quick so that they can be planning also. So we also need to be thinking of themes. So I'd like to have that all set in stone in September also. So let's be progressive on this, be thinking. You volunteers out there, keep your wheels turning too. It's all about community, so we don't just do it for Damascus, we do it for our whole community. So it's a big pull. We have great parade, we have a great 4th of July. 400 or 500 people probably show up for both of them, so it's pretty cool. Yes, Heather?
Did we decide we're gonna do it on a weeknight?
I'm sorry?
On a weeknight, did we decide we would do it on a weeknight?
We need you to come back with recommendations to us on that also. Okay? All right. We have sent out several cleanup letters. Will has delivered several. We've tried to mail some out. We've got them returned with no forwarding address, no phone numbers that work correctly on property around town. I've talked to several personally about cleaning up. We're getting a little help along the lines, but not much. Our recourse is going to be legal, and I'm going to visit with Judge Carnahan. There's several new laws that was adopted in the legislature as far as personal property and cleanup by municipalities. So I'm gonna visit with Judge Carnahan about that and see how we can proceed with some of these on getting them cleaned up or condemned or whatever we need to do to get them addressed. Some of them have been neglected for so long, there's no cleanup, it's condemned type, tear down. Point being the one right across the street. You know, it's just abandoned property. And the only way to address those, and it gets sticky, and it's not easy to get these type of situations addressed. There's a lot of legality, you know, that we have to go through the hoops, and most of the time they're drug out pretty good. But I went to a work session on that this last year, and there was a lot of good information in that, and the legislature has put a little bite into it so that we can have a little bit more say in how we address them. But the bottom line is it is private property, so unless they just totally neglect you and blow you off, there's not a lot we can do. We can hire getting it cleaned up and send them a bill, but they're probably not gonna pay it. So
we put a lien on the property.
that's about the only thing you do, and that's one of the legal hoops you have to go through. So, we are working on that, trying to clean up. We're gonna make that a big push this fall, on our Facebook and our webpage. We may even get some flyers made up of Clean Up Damascus, you know, have some cleanup days. We need it. I mean, it's pretty sad when you drive into Damascus and you see empty buildings that have just been neglected, and, you know, it doesn't give us a good look, you know. We get a lot of calls for different businesses wanting to start something here until they come and look. And then when they come and look, they go, well, my goodness, you're a dead town. And we're not a dead town. But that's projection that we show. And we've got to clean it up, and we've got to come up with some ideas to address some of the things that are going on. I think I'm talking to James quite a bit about this, actually, and, you know, he's got some great ideas that, you know, maybe try to get some small businesses in here, get some booths put up or something, make it a fun place to come to, where they could walk down the street and see several different shops. You know, Damascus is an old town. It's got a lot of history, and that might be something we want to work upon. Make it a focal point for history buffs. You know, CC Camp was over here. You know, there's possibility of even working with Dan Dykert and moving the CC Camp statue over here in town somewhere where we could, if we do our fun park, if we get that, we might can incorporate it into that. Just doing some things to try to help address the issues and get the pride back in the town of Damascus. You know, we had that for a while when we had the gas play going because it was a lot of money. And we had several stores that were open and several cafes and small businesses. And when the gas play went away, so did all the businesses. But we've got to do something different. We can't depend upon that kind of businesses. We got to try to do something to get people interested in wanting to be. We have a lot of people who want to be in Damascus, but we don't have a lot that's available for them. So just want you guys to think about all that and think about what we can do, and let's work towards that.
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, we're looking at maybe trying to form a Chamber of Commerce, and it doesn't have to be a town of Damascus Chamber of Commerce, it can be a community, Chamber of Commerce. Maybe looking at a planning commission, outside the council, so that we've got feedback that comes to us to make decisions on planning for different things. I mean, we've got a lot of issues on growth that needs to be addressed, that actually needs to come from a planning commission and be submitted to us to review and make decisions on. We don't need to be the planning committee. We need to be, I know it falls on us right now, but we need to get away from that. We need to look towards the future and how we can grow and grow right. Not just be a blow-up town and then be gone. So let's all think about it. Think outside the box a little bit. We're not a big town. We gotta keep the small town mentality, but we want the community and we want community input. That's what I challenge each one of you guys to do, is go out to your constituents and say, we need your input. We want to know what you guys want. And bring that back to the table so that we can make some good decisions. Ideas shouldn't come from us. Ideas should come from our constituents. So be thinking about that. Okay? Any concerns from council members? Wow. Okay. All right. Bank statements reviewed.
Make a motion, we approve the bank statements.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the bank statements. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made,
Second.
second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. We stand adjourned. Thank you all.